Trends O'Clock. This is Trends KE with KK Cedric.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Trends KE. This is KK Cedric coming to you live from Kenya's capital, Nairobi. Thank you very much for tuning in to the show. And tonight we have an amazing show coming right up. We have an amazing couple here who are doing very great work there on Instagram. That's Candy King and Jonty King. They will be joining us for a discussion, and feel free to send in your question and comments to the show. So this is a couple who do Kenyan and Swahili content and in many other languages as well. They're on TikTok with more than 2 million followers. They'll be giving us the secrets to that. So I think I'll play one of the clip as we join them right into the discussion.
Unanitaka?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, reason number 1.
I was inconsiderate.
Reason number 2?
I love you.
3?
Love you.
4?
Love you.
Shetani, bombo, enda jipende.
Ukiniona nimenona ama nimekonda niwache. Si ati kushinda kuniambia ati we punguza weight, ongeza weight, punguza weight, ongeza weight. Nipunguze nini? We punguza hiyo mdomo yako kwanza.
Well. Candy and Jonty, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for accepting our
It's such an honor to be invited. I was busy making an IG story about the show right now. So you'll see that IG story pop up later on after our interview.
Yeah, thank you. And make a point of tagging me in that post. Thank you very much for showing up to this show. And we have so many questions for you. The first question would be, and we were just talking behind the scenes, but just for the sake of our audience here, do you speak any Swahili?
Kidogo.
We can speak a little bit of Swahili, very TikTok Swahili.
Yeah. Ukikuja genywa shinwa wa matatu.
Toyotato.
Akinya nani.
Mwezi polisi kugonya wa matatu.
Mwizi polisi kekonyiwa matatu. And
you can say it a little bit better, but yeah, as my accent's a little bit different.
Yeah, your Kenyan accent.
Yeah, but I actually got what you said, and as I was,
all that matters.
As I was telling you, actually, if there's anybody who is teaching you some Kenyan culture, they have done good in all the best places, but on timekeeping, you just came on time, so there is nothing Kenyan about that.
We haven't caught on that one yet.
I don't want to catch on that one. I don't like that part.
Yeah, actually, you don't get that part. It's not good at all. You know, someone tells you that we shall be meeting at 12, and somebody will be showing up at 2 and asking you, "Oh, are we ready for this?"
We went to a TikTok event, okay, and they told us it starts at 11 a.m. So I was like, well, that's quite early.
And we went to a podcast before that, and we were running late, and I was so stressed.
Jonty was like, we need to get there faster, quickly. And we're like 30 minutes late already. And then we got there at around 12 o'clock. We got there an hour late, and no one was there.
And everyone looked at us weird, like, why are they here?
Yeah.
Like, why are they here already? Like,
but yeah, about 3 hours later, all the other people showed up.
Yeah, but some of us do keep time, so not everybody is actually that late. How many times have you been to Kenya?
We went to Kenya once.
Yeah, only once, but we were there for about 3 months. And now we host regular social media retreats in Kenya, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and
we invite people from the USA and Europe to meet us in Kenya, where they get to travel around and then they learn about social media.
And we can sing TikTok songs to them as well.
Yeah, Kenyan TikTok.
So you have been to Kenya. There's just so much to talk about Kenya, and I'll ask you this, Candy. Have you met? We have slay queens around, and sometimes if you tell them that you are married, they will ask you if your husband is single. Have you come in contact with them?
Oh my gosh. So many people ask me if I'm single. I'm like, girl. But yeah, you know, we're all sisters, so I guess sharing is caring, as they say.
You are ready to share?
Okay, culture. Okay. Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, and you know they don't dare. If you tell them we can share, they will come and share. And getting into the discussion, you have traveled a lot. You've traveled a lot, and I was checking out on your IG so many photos. If you allow me, I downloaded some of them. I can be sharing them as we continue with this conversation. And on that, in that perspective about traveling, how many countries have you traveled to, and how did you just come up with that culture of traveling as a couple? Because many people see this as a fairy tale, traveling now and then everywhere across the world. How do you manage that?
Well, actually,
We've
firstly,
been to 28 countries, around about 28.
I think maybe more.
Maybe.
But the truth is, it's actually not a fairy tale. People can do it, and anyone can do it. You just need to know how to do it, and you've got to really, I want to say believe in yourself, but the thing is, living to your how do I always say that? Like living to your means.
Yeah, living to your means. And
So not actually buying things, which sounds crazy because everyone thinks you need so much money to travel, but the thing is, you don't need more money than what you have or what.
When we first left, we went to China, and we had
$2,000 for between the both of us.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's all we had. We had nothing more than that when we left full time to travel for the rest of our lives. That's all we had. It was like I had spent my whole childhood since I was a kid just saving money, saving since I was about 12 years old. And then I managed to save together. We put our money together, and it was about $2,000 after about 10 years of saving. And then we learned how to turn traveling into a career. Yeah. Where so many people will, you know, spend so much money going out to parties and just buying expensive jewelry, taking out debt, paying cars.
Later,
and we just don't do that. We never did. So instead of that, we just save that money. And if our rule was, if we can't pay for it cash,
we don't buy it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow,
that's amazing. And as you travel, you also do share destinations like hotels. Does that come as an advertisement because you have a huge following on your social media?
So yeah, we don't really. That's not our prime thing, is to advertise the hotel. I'm a photographer and videographer, and Candy models a lot.
Well, try to.
Yeah, and so we'll take a lot of content for hotels, for their social medias, websites, all sorts, and the hotel will use it. And part of that package included is, and it's a nice benefit, that we have a big social media and we can promote them a little bit to our audience.
But honestly, sometimes we don't even promote hotels. Most of the times we do share hotels that we really, really like, because we believe, I mean, if they do a good service, well, then we're going to talk about you. But yeah, what we do is, and a lot of the hotel content that we do take, we don't share because it's not for our audience, like food photography, room photos with no people in them, none of us in them.
Yeah, no one wants to see that unless you're booking the room.
Staff photos, you know, we just give those to the hotel. So yeah, we pretty much just we are no one special. We're just photographers and videographers. That's culture. Different.
Wow, and that's special. Actually, that's a special thing to do, because you're sharing cultures from different destinations to your audience. And something else that I would want to ask is about your TikTok and content production there. What actually came to your mind when you decided to start this TikTok account, and then run it as a couple. Then after that, you will tell us how someone can get 2 million followers. So first, how did you decide that you want to run an account as a couple?
So so Candy. So we had our Instagram that we ran together, and then last year April, was it last year April? Last year April, Candy was February was at a website, social media retreat in Bali, learning web design and coding. And she came, and there were many really big Instagram influencers there. And one particular one that have like over 1 million followers
on Instagram
told Candy that she has the perfect personality for TikTok. And Candy came back. I wasn't there. I was in Laos. And Candy came.
Laos is another country. It's small. No one knows about it.
Yeah. So Candy flew back, and she told me this, and we were like, "What does that mean?" So we didn't really know what it means, but we were like, if these guys see something in Candy, then let's just try it. Like, let's see what happens. And
it flopped really bad. It didn't work. TikTok didn't work for us. I got on there and I was like, people are just dancing and singing. They go, no, I'm not doing this. How can she say I have the perfect personality for this nonsense?
But the problem.
And our first few videos are just bombed bad, just like down, like no views, just no reach. And then
we were at that stage, we were just posting stuff from Instagram onto TikTok.
And we were trying to make perfect content like for Instagram, perfect travel videos, perfect everything. And it just really wasn't working. And then what we did was we started going through comments and just seeing who are these posts.
Who's the audience? Who's seeing
this stuff? Is it people from the USA? Who is it? And really, this is the goal. This is what everyone wants to know, is how to get to 2 million followers. It's all about your SIM card and your location. That is it.
So what someone needs to know is where your audience, where are they? So that you give them the content that they need, that resonates with the audience that you're having.
Yeah. And our Instagram was always about travel. So, and this, that's what we really liked. So, and then when we found out that about TikTok, it really was perfect for us because it showed a different side. We could show a different side of our travel, not necessarily the luxury, like working with hotels and stuff and going to these beautiful landscapes and sunsets and sunrises, but actually showing what we actually do besides we go to the local places. We practice the languages. We try different things that other tourists don't normally do, but we this is how we travel. We want to experience and immerse ourselves in the culture. So we showed people that, and people just loved watching that.
Yeah, and it really so because of the location and TikTok being primarily location based, at the time we were in Southeast Asia. And we were going to Asian restaurants. They don't really have restaurants. They have street food places. We'd go there, eat the food, practice the language, show people as trying to learn the language. And the locals just loved that. And they thought, this is so cool. For once, a couple, a tourist, not being a stupid tourist, but actually appreciating the culture. And I think that's all it is that made the difference. And
actually that's amazing, because
making mistakes, speaking the language, saying it all wrong. And the best thing is people are so patient, and our TikTok followers are amazing. They always try to help us when we say things wrong.
Sometimes a bit too honest, because sometimes I'll really try for so long, and then I'll get a comment like, "Oh, you can see you just tried this for the first time." And I'm like, no, that took me 3 hours. But
and do you always know what you're saying, or you just go for the lyrics of the things you want to say and then you go on the mic straight away? Or do you first get to understand what exactly it is you're saying?
So you know how a baby just says stuff and sometimes a baby has no idea what they're saying, and that makes it funny? think that's what it is.
Yeah, but I find it that we learn so much more like that because we'll jump on the trend. Everyone's doing the trend, so it'll be like, oh, let's do it. And then, like in the comments, people will start telling us about it and telling us what we're doing and stuff. So we learn so much about the culture from there rather than us just trying to Google sound lyrics or something, because people will tell us, this is from this culture, this is from these people, this is why you're saying this is why it's funny.
And then we will also ask our friends, like, because we obviously you make friends as you travel, local friends, and we'll say, like, what does this mean? And then they'll tell us the meaning, and then we'll hear that word in a sentence, and we're like, they said that word, they said that TikTok, they said the word TikTok. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that feels interesting actually, because you get to interact with the people in their actual environment and using their language. That's very great. And there are so many people who are tuned into the show. Some are having questions here, which I'm just going to do to read them up. Alex on Sunset, what is the secret behind this kind of content creation and photography? This one here wants to know the secret. Is there a secret recipe?
What kind of content? Like the hotel content?
I think it's about TikTok.
Viral TikTok content.
He's talking about the TikTok content.
I think the most like is just being real and not trying to. I think people just appreciate you just being real, making mistakes and messing up. Because like when you try a video like 1,000 times to be perfect and the wind blowing in your hair, like everyone's seen that. But actually doing stuff, trying a language and messing up and just like putting yourself out there.
I think you might think that you are ordinary, like I'm just the same as everyone else. But in a different environment, you're not the same as everyone else. But there are quirky and different things about everyone. So you really just ask, like, this is number one, like step number one, ask your family what makes you different. Ask your friends, what makes me different? What makes me playful or fun? Like, what is it about me that you like? And then emphasize that on TikTok. So for me, I'm a little bit goofy and I don't really care a lot of the times. And I say things that they just keep coming and unfiltered, as you say. And so I just emphasize that.
One more thing I'll ask about that, because currently, because of COVID-19 happened, there are people who lost their jobs. There are also youth who just came out of campus. People have no jobs. They are stressed, and actually your content is helping out to relieve stress. Some people, sometime, and people are stressed, they are unemployed, they have no jobs, but then they are youth, and this digital media space is for them. So my question was, do you make money out of this? And how can someone who is stressed, but they are creative and can do content also tap into it?
Talk about how much broadcasting agencies make.
Yes. So
so
people must realize there's so many different ways to be shown and be seen these days. There's so many different apps, so many different social medias. And before, like maybe like 10 years back, there was just
people don't disconnect. You need to listen to this. Like seriously, listen. If you want to make money on Instagram and TikTok, just listen to what he's going to say.
Before there was just TV and radio, and those would just go out to everyone, and big corporate companies would pay a lot of money for their advert or their little bit to go on radio. Very, like a lot of money, and then they'd have a whole team that would do it.
Just guess, like in Kenya, okay, what's the most popular radio station in Kenya?
Most popular radio station, there are several. We have several radio stations which people listen to, but you can't actually rule out one. Most popular Citizen Radio.
So you take Citizen Radio to produce an advert there where they speak. You need a broadcast team. They have their platform that broadcasts the radio. They make the video. They have to get actors, voice actors.
Firstly, they've had to hire a media, like a marketing agency, to come up with a concept, to write a script, to write a copywriter. Then they've hired a voice actor, okay, That is an entire team to do one job, and that is come up with a script. Okay, after they've done that, they have then paid the radio station a lot of money for that message to be broadcasted to 10,000 people. And
Yeah.
out of those 10,000 people, how many of them are actually interested in, let's say, lipstick? How many? 50% perhaps?
So what we're saying is,
So what we're trying to say is that as social media influencers, if you have a reach, if you can reach 1,000 people, if you have 1,000 followers, the amount of money that someone is willing to pay a marketing agency is about $1,000, $1 a person.
Wow. That's actually amazing.
Small audience are incredibly valuable.
and it's just the thing about what you need
No.
to do is knowing your value and incorporating a professionalism into your work. And
Yeah.
rather than just be like, oh, I'm going to chat to you on this. If someone reaches out to you, move over to email and start speaking to them on email rather than just being this person that chats in DMs or something like that. Make that professionalism, and then people will start taking you seriously. And tell them, this is my audience, this is what I can get you, this is and know that that's so valuable.
Yeah, the number one key to pitching to brands is what I can do for you, not what the brand can do. We get messages from Kenyans all the time, and just people in general. Hey, can I have, I want, please donate. No. Tell me, what are you going to do for me? How are you going to help me? That's how people need to change they need to change their narrative, change their voice. Speak to brands. Hey, can I have a free bag? Don't say that. Say, hey,
This is what I can do for you, and I need a bag to do
I
this.
have 1,000 followers on Instagram with a really high engagement. I have 10% engagement. These are my comments. They love what I do. I can put you in front of them. That's what I can do for you. I guarantee that people will know your brand if you work with me. In order to do this, however, you need to give me the product so I can promote it. So much better.
And the biggest thing that people make mistakes is they think that we just sit around and wait for people just to sit and contact us. You're going to wait forever because these corporates are busy. You need to contact the corporate, find the right person to contact, and be like, hey, this is me. This is my audience. This is what I can do for you. Let's work together.
Yeah, and
Wow.
if your audience, I know, we'll jump into the next question. Just last thing, if your audience is interested in makeup, don't contact a
Company.
bad company. Tell them keep contacting makeup brands. You know,
Yeah.
and they're willing to.
And thank you. Sorry for cutting you short there. There are so many questions that people are asking. And one is asking here, does this traveling act as an occupation or is it just adventure?
So both. We enjoy traveling so much that we made it work into a profession.
Yeah.
So like, do what you love and then make it work into getting you money.
And you have no, because many people actually, even many companies, they really have a problem with people working together when they are a couple. Do you have any challenges working as a couple, because this is now like business?
Yeah, you have to just figure out the relationship, like between a work relationship and like being a couple as well. Like it's definitely a lot different. Like,
I mean, you have to be professional. You cannot have an argument in front of a client. But even in general, you don't argue with another colleague in front of a client. You know, things like that. I think draw the line where if you have a problem at home, let it stay at home and go back, sort it out. And
Yeah, exactly. And we have Claire Jane here asking, when is your next social media retreat?
our next social media retreat is in February in Watamu.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're actually busy organizing it now. You can go onto socialmediaretreat.org and you can find out all the information there, and we'll be hosting a retreat and teaching people how to create make their passion of content creation, social media, doing anything digital and make it into online business.
This one's actually really cool because people will get a website after the retreat. They'll have a website. We'll teach them exactly how to set up an online business. Between us two, we have about 5 online businesses. So we want to teach people how to do that. And I think it's so important for not just Kenya, but Africa in general to realize that they can, there's no jobs around. Cool, make your own, make one online.
Yeah, and then you have, instead of focusing on the 10 people that walk past your store, you can reach anyone in the world.
Someone is asking how does one have to sign up for that?
Socialmediaretreat.org.
The link is also in my Instagram bio.
In the Instagram bio, there's the link, and in TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I should change the TikTok one.
Yeah, and the Instagram account is Candy and the King.
Yes.
The same on TikTok as well.
And
Someone here, yeah, and Facebook as well. JLMPA is asking, please talk about the challenges involved. So in production of content, I think that's where he's asking about the challenges involved when you are producing content for TikTok.
Okay. Lighting, bad lighting can be a real big challenge. I'm sure you would know that too. If you do videos, you'll know, like, trying to get the perfect conditions. Oh my gosh.
I think a big challenge is also knowing when you're sitting and on TikTok, you have to obviously find trends and do research, and finding the boundary between that and just sitting and consuming and watching TikToks.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And 2 hours later, you realize that you've been watching the Above the Head challenge for 2 hours, and you actually haven't even thought about what you're going to be creating, what content, because those are 2 hours that you could have been doing work.
What kind of tools do you have in creating your content? Because I saw, not on TikTok, the one I saw was on Instagram. I saw some nice shots on Instagram, and I think those ones are taken by a drone. What kind of tools do you use in producing your content?
We have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We have a drone, we have a GoPro, we have a phone, we have a camera, we have a giant gimbal thing to do it. But honestly, you don't need all of that. You need your phone.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people make an excuse and say, oh, I don't have, I can't do it, I can't get 1 million.
Because then you'll never start.
Honestly, all of our viral content has been from a selfie cam.
Yeah.
So if you can take a selfie, you can get 1 million.
And if you're waiting for that moment when you can afford to buy a drone or something like that, you're going to be waiting forever, because that moment's not going to happen. You need to start now.
Start with what
start with what you have, and then grow. Like, I started with just a phone camera, and then all of a sudden, over like 3 years, I've got everything I need. But if I didn't start at that time, I'd probably be 3 years behind.
But like I said, saving, and then investing in the right things.
Wow. I like that I made you my beautiful daughter. Comment there from Jen Cheryl.
Yep, that's my mom.
First time being here, following live from England. Great show. John Kinyua following there from England. Thank you very much for following the show. Another one here, Sylvia Gitari is joined in from Nyeri, that's in Kenya. We have our producer here, Daniel, in the background, tuned in all the way from India in Kochi. He's also loving the show.
I would love to go to India.
He's there. You can see him in the background. Unfortunately, our audience can't see him. Loyal Albert, Moisbridge Kapkoi is streaming live. That's in Kenya as well. Then we are having Claire, Jane, Jonty, and Candy are the best. That's a great fan there tuned into the show as well. What's the secret? I think we have talked about that. Who else? thanks for bringing this couple in love with them, and what they do is amazing. Just a question though, how do they balance traveling and family?
That is such a
I think we started traveling
6 years
6
ago,
years.
and the first 4 months I cried and I just wanted to go home. I missed my family, I missed my comfort zone, and it was really, really
But
hard.
we made a commitment to go. We've gone home every year, no matter where we are. We've gone home to visit. Besides, we were stuck in a country for a year and a half
The COVID.
because of COVID. We were locked in the country. But besides that, every year we've gone home for a month or more. Yeah.
And actually we do spend a lot of quality time with our family.
We actually find that we spend more quality time with our family when we come for a short period of time, because we find when we're here for long, it seems like
They don't care about us anymore. They don't.
It seems like you just get on with your everyday life and stuff like that. But when it's a short period of time, it's quality time, and you feel like every single time you go to a restaurant or you go to the beach, you need to spend that quality time with them, because it's not going to be for long.
And Best Chaprof here saying this couple is just amazing. Please repeat that TikTok is awesome, and share their handles as well. So if you can repeat your handles for those who are first timers, maybe they haven't been in contact with your content.
You can, yeah.
Can you run on that?
Candy's writing quickly so she can show everyone.
Yeah, you can answer another question.
Yeah, you can do another question if you want.
Yeah, and we're having here JL Empire. I love this show. I saw the clip and was, oh wow, I'm loving the show. Watching from Nairobi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Noella Lazarus is tuned into the show as
Can't see
well.
that.
There
That's
we go. You
at-
can Candy.
Candy __the_king. We got it.
Candy and the King. So yeah, we Candy and John C. King. So we
That's our last name.
Candy
King.
and the King. Yeah.
Yeah, King.
Yes, and another comment here. These two much are acting like identical.
Identical.
Rhyming.
Acting like
From Two Wheeler Diaries. If we cannot make the social media retreat, would we be able to buy your manual? That's from
personal branding.
we do a personal branding release. We have a personal branding ebook. I think what we should do is make a discount code for Kenyans.
Yeah, we can.
I think I'm going to do that. We'll make a discount code for Kenyans and for our TikTok. I've got 3 things. We've got a personal branding book. We've got a book on how to work with hotels. And then we're releasing very soon our TikTok book on how we got to 1 million.
How to become a TikTok superstar.
Yep. And we'll make a Kenyan discount code.
Yeah, when we release.
Yes, thank you. And I can see the time we had spared is actually up. Let me play one clip here from John T TikTok clip, and then you give us your
I'm nervous.
No, don't be nervous. It's this one here, just about it. Then we come to the last question and then your final take.
Sipendi mboga. Sipendi mboga. Na kabichi. Hiyo hata siwezi angalia mara mbili. Na nikiangalianga tu any type of mboga nasikianga mood swings. Najiulizanga nikule hizi vitu kwani mimi naweza tolewa kama dowry.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I can post that online, and it will get thousands of views, and I won't be embarrassed. But then I watch it myself, and I feel embarrassed.
What do you think?
I don't know why.
You feel
That actually happens with most people. There are most people who do content and they can't even listen to their own voices, but people love it.
It does start like that. So when I first would make a voice message, couldn't listen to my own voice. But if you want to be a content creator, you got to get used to being in front of the camera. You got to get used to seeing yourself, and that's just little by little. Just keep doing it. Keep doing something small every day in front of the camera.
Yeah, amazing couple. Love them, Jen, Cheryl.
Yeah, that's I'm on the game.
Actually, this guy just called you the wrong name there, and that's a Kenyan name. Your name is Jonty, right?
Jonty. Yeah, so my name is Jonathan, but since I was young, everyone called me Jonty. Yeah.
Your name is Jonty, but the guy wrote Jonte. Jonte is a name that is very common here in Kenya, and you don't want to know the stereotype with that name, Jonte.
Is there a big stereotype?
We have because we speak quite a few different languages. He has a Chinese name. You didn't get a Lao name. Anyways, I've got a Chinese name, a Thai name, a Lao name, and Jonty has a few names. Yeah. Yoni is his Arabic name.
My Chinese name is Guan Yu, which means tall and righteous. It was a wonder. I chose it myself because someone told me, like, we're talking about Chinese warriors, and this guy was tall and righteous, and I was like, that's me. So that's why I'm called Guan Yu.
So now we've got a Swahili name for Jonty, which is Jonte.
But they say that we just need PP and Mfalme.
Yeah, PP.
PP na Mfalme.
So we can call you Jonte as well.
Jonte.
Yeah,
Jonte. Someone there saying Acheni Jonte aitwe Jonte. Let's just call Jonte Jonte. No worries. So finally, someone has written for us there, for those who didn't get the account, Claire Noel at Candy_the_king. Thank you very much for showing up to the show, and your final take. I really wished this could go on for a while, but I hope if I invite you some other time, you will.
Sure. When you can meet up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will let you know, and then we organize for another session. This has been very much interesting. So many comments, which I can't go through all of them because of time.
Wow.
Yeah, so your final take, and on that, just advise someone who wants to start creating content probably on TikTok, because at this point there is just so much going on TikTok, and there is a lot of audience on it for someone who is ready to do that content. And how can they sustain their content to make sure that they get to 2 million followers? Speaking to 2 million people per day, that's very great. That's great. Yeah.
So the best trick is to post and start and keep posting.
Yeah, I would say focus on, so whatever SIM card is in your phone, focus on
those trends,
on that location. Try partner your SIM card with the location you are in. So if you're in Kenya, make sure you have a Kenyan SIM card, and focus on your physical area. Who is in your physical area?
What will they like?
What will they like? What do they eat? What are they doing? Really, really, really.
What songs are they listening to?
Don't think about people in the USA. They've got their own things going on. Focus on your physical location.
Yeah, you can focus on them, but focus here.
Honestly, what TikTok does is it goes, okay, these people like it. Now we're going to push it out to these people. And if those people like it, it will push it out to more. And what happens is, if those people like it, then you'll start spilling out into different countries. That's what happened with us. We literally just focused on our street.
Yeah.
And then we went out to the city. And then we pushed out to cities and towns around. And then we started going into different provinces. And then we started going into neighboring countries. So that's what you got to do. Just pull it in. Stop doing everything. Yeah. Don't post like food, travel, babies, your mother, your father, your don't. But pull it into one thing. We focused on language, and that was it. We didn't focus on gorgeous travel and blah, 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 all the things. Just language. That's all we did. People are interested. You can't do everything.
Exactly. Thank you very much for showing up to this show, and I hope to see you some other time on the show as well.
You're so welcome.
That's so
And
great.
thank you for inviting us. Invite us again.
Thank you, Pop.
Next time we'll interview you.
Yeah, that will be amazing, as well as so that I can get to address your 2 million followers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how cool would that be?
Yeah, so I'm getting into our second segment, which would have come first. So I'll just take you to the backstage. If you still have time, you can continue enjoying the show. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
So that has been a very awesome engagement there with John Tree and Candy, playing a very big role there. And you have heard what they have had to say, and I'm hoping that they will come up some other time on the show. So John Tree and Candy, mko vizuri, ongezeni vitu vingi kwa Kiswahili. If you're listening, that guy there is from Tanzania. He knows a lot of Kiswahili. He can take you for Kiswahili lessons. That's Kagigo Mwalida, all the way from Tanzania. Asante sana Mwalida for tuning into the show. And we are getting into our trends topic. What has been trending this week? To start us off. Allah! 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 And if you are wondering why I'm playing Allah, so starting from today, this Atwoli has decided to patent that statement. So in case his patent gets accepted, if you use that Allah for any business, you are going to pay. You'll have to pay greatly. Mr. Atwoli has decided that his statement has been so popular and he is not going to let people use it for free. Here it is. There Atwoli moves to trademark the viral Allah audio there coming right to you, and you can see he's decided that he wants to get money out of it. That is the Secretary General of Kotu, Francis Atwoli, ameamua hamtatumia nini yake bure. You will have to pay him for that. Speaking of that, let me take you to another thing. So Diamond Platnumz showed up in a shop and decided to buy a watch worth 69 million Kenyan shillings. Sio pesa ya Tanzania. 69 million Kenyan shillings. That's a watch that's being bought. Let's have a look at this clip.
No others. Only phone number, your phone number.
What would you do with 69 million Kenya shillings? Well, for Diamond, he would buy a watch and just walk comfortably around with it. Speaking of Diamond, pia amesema kuna watu wanamwambia yeye huvaa kiatu nyeupe na anairudia kwa sana. But he had an answer here for them.
Yes, begin unapea nyingi nyeupe hapa mara moja tunatupa. Tunatupa imeweka nyingi nitakataka kuchukua. Yeah. Hapa mwingine. Na mara moja hizi hapa. Na kwa hizi kwa zote. Nyupo zote hizi. Naona hizo fadhali hizo. Hapa. Naona hiyo. Yani hii hatari. Hii balaa sana. Kwa shabiki hapa leo tumenunua pale siletu nyipya. Na hujatoa hii. Haija kuvaa zote mpya. Zote mpya. Nguo nyingi ziko sija kuzivaa. Yes. Hii hapa. Logo. Logo. Yaani nguo nyingi humo je kuziona ni. Yaani humo ni nguo nyingi mpya. Sio leo. Huko juu kuna nguo mpya.
Diamond Platnumz anasema msimzoee, hizo nguo hajawahi vaa, zingine amevaa hata mara moja. I don't know why he had to do that, but Shoe Game Baba had to be part of the shoe game and rocking some Nike there. worth several hundreds of thousands of shillings, but he's saying that those two gentlemen bought the shoes for him. Well, acha baba itwe baba pia. Ameamua to rock in some very expensive Nike shoes and heading into politics. Some politicking was happening. And do you know what Sifuna decided that the Nairobians want? Well, listen to what Sifuna is saying, that the Nairobians, especially the youth, are most interested in. Let me get that right here.
Kwa sababu hii maisha ni fupi baba, watu wanataka kupiga sherehe. Hii kafyu imetulalia sana baba, tunataka kafyu iondolewe. Wangapi wanataka kafyu iondolewe? Hii Kanairo tunataka kupiga sherehe baba, na wamesema ukate bei ya TI. Bei ya TI ianguke isianguke, ianguke isianguke. Baba wamesema iwe mzinga, Chrome ama ya Glen isipite 250 chini ya siku 100 ya uongozi wa baba. Wangapi watapigia baba kura? Nione kwa mkono. Asante sana, Mungu awabariki watu wa Kamkunji.
Kenyans, watu wa Kanairo hivyo ndio maamua. Speaking of Kanairo, just have a look at this clip before it says.
Wapi?
Tao.
Ai.
Alafu nikifungua na kutanivyo item.
Ai.
Naka sijui nitampata aje.
Au.
I tell you, someone bought an Itel phone thinking it is an iPhone. Hii Nairobi iko na visanga. There is nothing you can't miss in this town. Itel for an iPhone na mtu akaenda nayo nyumbani. Utaibwa pia na wewe na ubebwe. That's what is happening here. And something else that is happening is that the CS of what is telling you, Mr. Balala anakuambia kama wewe unataka fisi aitwe kwa jina lako, maana kama umechoka kuitwa fisi, sasa wacha fisi apewe jina yako. You have to part away with 2 million, listen very well, 2 million Kenya shillings. And sorry for that, 2 million Kenya shillings for this animal to be named after you. 2 million Kenya shillings. Kwa hivyo kama wewe unaitwa, acha nisitumie majina yenu basi, hiyo fisi ipewe jina yako, wewe unalipa 2,000,000 na wewe unatembea huku nje ukiitwa fisi kila siku na hakuna kitu unapewa. Well, will you accept to pay some few millions for a hyena to be named after you? Well and good. I don't know if you can. Hey, that's it. That's what they have said. Something that is alarming that has come to our attention this day is that there is this guy who has decided to break out of prison. And this guy is a suspected serial killer who was in custody. He took the police to several places where he had killed very many innocent kids. Lakini sasa he is on the loose. They haven't found him yet. And people are scared, especially the parents of those kids whom he suspectedly killed. They are very scared and they actually don't know what to do. Let me finish off, and before I finish, it was very saddening for those of us in the media and many other Kenyans who are following this great man, Badi Mohsin. From time then, he was doing very amazing work, but then he went to be with the Lord. Let's listen to some advice that he was giving to those who are.
Lakini fani hii ya utangazaji inataka nidhamu. Ukiwa na nidhamu, ukae na watu vizuri, usiwe na pressure na mtu. Ukiambiwa makosa yako kubali, jirekebishe, shauriana na wengine, pata ushauri mwema, bila shaka utatoboa katika fani hii ya utangazaji.
Hapo ni Badi Mohsin. Asanteni sana. That's the end of our trending topics tonight. Thank you very much. Nairobi West Week anabaia baba Nike. amevaa mbwakni we, kama venye calligraph huwa anatolewa kwa hizi streets. Okay, this guy have a boutique. Dunia, mtu wako na boutique kwa nyuma anasema hajawahi vaa hizo vitu hata ajui. Diamond aache show off. That's what happens in this industry, especially for musicians. That's what they live for. Tell the Wazungus about me. Negaga, how did I miss your comment? But it will get to them. Negaga, there is a big week pale kwa Twitter. Look for Negaga hapo kwa Twitter utampata. Anaitwa Kevin Falt. Fantastic show. Jen Cheryl Gilbert, thank you very much for tuning into the show. And thank you all of you. See you next week. Those of you who have any advertisements, please get to us and we shall also be looking for you as well. My name is KK Cedric. See you next week on the show. Goodbye.